What up? What up? What up? Strictly Podcast, baby. My name is Randy Little. I'm this here host in this little couple hours of movie discussion that we do. It's episode 80, man. I know y'all probably get tired of me being overwhelmed about how many episodes that I've done, but like it's crazy to me that it's 80 episodes. A bunch of guests, small alterations. 40 episodes we was most likely talking sports and music, and the social media still does a little bit of sports, a little bit of music out here, but the podcast is mainly focusing on movies. Today is my birthday, man. This is the first time in 3.5, 4.5 years, 3.5 years that an episode has fallen on my birthday. So I flexed the host hat and got a little bit of shit on the brim of my hat. But we talking about my favorite movies. I didn't want to cook up a topic, so I just wanted to talk about my favorite movies. Melissa, Eric, Nick, they come through, they kick it with me. It's a fun discussion. We talk about a lot of movies on this episode. So it's a fun discussion, man. Like I don't do no talking. Like I thought I was just enjoying them talk about my favorite movies. Like it sounds fucked up for me to make that the topic of the episode. Next episode is gonna be all Batman, so another one of my favorite topics. Yo, but over the last couple weeks, theatrically, Death on the Nile came out, Black Light came out, Marry Me came out. This past weekend, Uncharted, Dog. Those reviews are on my personal YouTube channel. Search Randy Little, you'll find me. Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out on Netflix. I haven't had a chance to watch that yet. In between the next two episodes, the Batman comes out, man. Like nothing comes out on the 25th of February. Actually, I'll take that back. I think a movie comes out on Hulu. I want to say it's called No Exit. I'm not sure. I know Dennis Haysbert is in it. Over the past 2 weeks on Blu-ray, DVD, 4K, Encanto from Disney came out. Miller's Crossing came out on Criterion. Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City came out. King Richard came out. Catwoman Hunted, Stargirl Season 2. Stargirl is low-key cool for a CW DC show. I don't know what the Hating Game or After We Fell are. Look like some Universal catalog upgrades. This past Tuesday, Eternals came out. Looks like The Howling came out on 4K. Supposedly, the unrated Euro Trip came out. I haven't seen it anywhere. I haven't seen anybody that bought it, man. Drop a comment. Let me know if it did come out. Because I was going to buy it. But Amazon tried to tell me it got pushed to June. This upcoming Tuesday, Man on the Moon comes out on Blu-ray. Jim Carrey, Andy Kaufman, Man on the Moon, from Kino Labor. I don't know if I'm saying that company right. The King's Man comes out. The 355 that come out like 6 weeks ago in the theater is already coming on Blu-ray. House of Gucci is coming on Blu-ray. American Underdog, the Kurt Warner football movie. And then what's next Tuesday? Before the next episode is March 1st. I don't know if anything is coming out that I personally want. So let's see. Oh, the Batman, the 2004 animated series. I thought that was Blu-ray.com has that on the 1st. I think Amazon has that for March 8th. And then I mean that looks like it. Like there's a 5-movie combo pack. Daniel Craig, James Bond is coming out on 4K. Belfast is coming out. Neil Blomkamp, Demonic. That's not my flavor, but that's coming out too. So yeah, man, I'm gonna come back. We're gonna talk about my favorite movies. Oh man, so I love every single movie that we talk about on this episode. So yeah, man, it's Rec League Podcast. We be right back. All right, we back in this, and as far as when the general public, worldwide podcasting audience checks out this episode, it's my birthday. I've never had an episode like fall on my birthday. So as far as like when we recording this, don't worry about if it's my birthday or not. And I'm gonna do like this selfish host flex and put like zero work into what the topic is. So we're just gonna talk about my favorite movies for like a couple hours. And I might not do a lot of talking. Like my plan was to like, if you guys have the list handy, like Nick, Eric, Melissa, what up? Just pick a movie and talk about it. It's like a 30 movie list. I don't expect every movie to be discussed. I don't want every movie to be discussed.
But we're gonna discuss it.
Cool. Dig.
All 27.
Yeah. So, Melissa, you want to pick like a random movie and we could just start?
Sure. So, I watch whatever comes on my movie channels, and I got lucky. Kill Bill 1 and 2 came on my Hollywood Suite channel.
Classic.
And I've never rewatched them since they were released, and I know you love them. So I decided let's do this. And the first time, well, the only time I watched Kill Bill when it first came out 2003, I was terrified, like absolutely terrified. I basically covered my eyes the entire time and had a friend say, okay, look now, okay, close your eyes. Like, I was so scared. But I was surprised. I'm an adult now. I can take it. I can handle it. And I really enjoyed it. I felt kind of sick the whole time, but I really, really liked it. I'm a big Lucy Liu fan, and I don't even watch these movies, but she's so iconic, and Uma is amazing, and great cast, beautiful, like, filmmaking, and amazing music. Watch the second one too. I always thought I liked the second one better, but you know what? I think they're on par now. I don't know why. I think I liked the second one better 20 years ago because it was like not as crazy violent. There's no battle at the House of Tea Leaves or whatever it's called.
Crazy 88s.
Yeah, the second one is great for two parts for me. Obviously, Pai Mei, the Sifu, hilarious. I rewound like every joke a million times. It was so funny. And then obviously the last scene with David Carradine. But other than that, I hate obviously being buried alive. Oh my god, it gives me so much anxiety. Anything at the wedding hall, oh my god. But anyways, both movies, great cast. It's sad, some of these actors you never hear from anymore. It's just like Quentin's favorites, right? But man, great movies. I get why people like them so much. It just took some time for me to maybe like get a bit desensitized and courageous to try them again. So great choice, Randy. Love them.
I don't know if they're better than Pulp Fiction.
Well,
hey, fucker.
This list. 3, 4, 5.
It's Randy's list. It's Randy's day.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna make a mockery of his day.
Hey, fuck you. Just talk about shut the fuck up and talk about Kill Bill.
When I was like younger, not that I got older and smart. Like when Kill Bill came out, I was like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. I'm gonna tell everybody to watch this, and like I did. The first one, second one too. But like when the first one came out, I was like, there are not movies like this now. Like I was a child. I was like, this is blowing my little mind. Then like that's probably what got me into Tarantino. Like I probably hadn't seen Pulp Fiction at that time in my life yet. So, or Reservoir Dogs. I had maybe seen Reservoir Dogs.
So fucking good.
But
Tarantino's whole filmography could be on this list.
To be honest, yeah, like he doesn't really have one that's like, no, definitely not Jackie Brown. Like Jackie Brown was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only Quentin I grew up with because I could handle it a lot easier. And you know, I like the story and everything. But I love how Randy loves these two movies because it's all women, you know. It's like it's so cool and progressive that Randy loves Kill Bill 1 and 2. But I know a lot of film heads love these movies. They're just beautiful to look at.
To me, and I thought this way back like 20 years ago, and still do. Like, to me, like, they were Oscar worthy movies.
Yeah.
That like
Right.
Uma Thurman could have been nominated for
Yeah.
both of those. David Carradine could have been nominated for 2.
Yeah, that's big
The
snub.
cinematography, all that stuff, the
Good points.
coordination, like all of that. I don't know if stunts are there stunt Oscars,
Well, the Taurus Awards are the big stunt awards.
but to say, yeah, they should be.
Yeah. The Oscars right about now, just stay on point, are the only huge award shows that don't acknowledge stunt work.
Yeah,
Oh.
they don't do stunts.
They need to get on that.
And
They were
people
like,
are campaigning for that, right? I think.
Yeah.
But if
That's
the
why they
nomination,
shot down that stupid award that they were going to come
Yeah.
out with.
They need to
Best
add
popular movie.
they need to add a stunt award and a motion capture award.
The reward for most popular movie is the money. You already get the money. You don't need to reiterate.
awards with Spider-Man wins this year. It's
And
like
Right.
there's already Blockbuster, MTV, you know.
Right.
Anyway, I agree with you on that.
So, yeah. Kill Bill.
he does. Spoiler alert. I don't know if anybody has.
So, I want to ask y'all this. The answer is probably no. But I'm going to ask you anyway. Melissa.
Okay.
So when the movie came out, I was still living in Chicago. There's this movie theater called the Music Box. It's an art
Chicago,
house.
man.
There we go. Fancy schmancy. So remember Kill Bill 1, the crazy 88 fight scene. She's fighting and she snatches out the eyeball and it goes into black and white. So that happens because, like Melissa said, the movie is like comically, well, to a degree, is over the top gory. And it was just too much stuff to cut in the North American version that Tarantino decided to go into black and white. So in country like Japan, there is no black and white sequence. The movie stays in color.
Oh.
So Music Box, they
Lucky
did
them.
something. The only version theatrically that I've ever known was to have that scene in color. I hadn't seen that scene. I guess they imported it or something. I don't know if it was wrong or illegal, but that's the only way I saw the movie. Then on video, every subsequent time I saw it, it was in black and white. And I read that, and that was the editing thing. And also in this version of the movie, I imported the DVD because I was so used to it. There, even in the black and white, the American version had to cut out a lot of content. And it's probably real hard to find now, but I still got it on DVD. It's like it's region blocked, so I can't watch it on all my players. But
So what does black and white allow for Quentin to do? It allows.
it allows you not showing the red of the blood. The MPAA has real problem with the blood.
So if they do black and white, he can kind of circumvent.
Yeah, he had that genius idea just because just blood flying everywhere and
That's really cool. That's really
yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
But still artistically, funny enough, it works.
Yeah.
With the black and white.
Honestly, it helps, and thank God there's a cartoon sequence instead of the real thing for Oren Ishii's
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, there's no way I could watch that if it wasn't. Even in the cartoon, I'm like, ugh. It's like.
Yeah, it was like she's driving a sword and his teeth and.
So he's very clever to try and do
right.
these maybe you won't vomit if you see it like this.
But one more thing, Tarantino, if you're listening, I know you are. Put the whole now. There's 3 versions of the Hateful Eight. The most recent version is the miniseries version on Netflix, and he specially prepared that. Tarantino.
Yeah.
Put out the whole Bloody Affair version of Kill Bill because it was filmed as one movie.
Yeah.
And they shot so much footage, and they had to separate them, and that's why between Kill Bill 1 to 2, the tone is so unbalanced.
So different. They're completely different movies, right?
Right.
I like them both.
Yeah.
It's still great. But that's the reason for the tonality shift is because it was supposed to be one movie and it was going to be edited just slightly different.
Is the whole affair basically just 1 stuck to 2, or are there changes?
Oh, there's change. There will be according to the screenplay, there's narrative changes and editing changes that will be different from just watching them separately.
Interesting. Okay.
And even between the two, there's still deleted scenes out there. Like they cut my boy scene. Michael J. White had a scene where he fought Bill.
No shit.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
But yeah, that's but no, great movies. I love it. And I'll probably bring this up if we do an Oscar episode. David Carradine snubbed. He should have had that supporting actor.
He got a Golden Globe nomination. I remember that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
He's so smug and annoying, though. Like, I get it's a good acting job because I'm like, fuck this fucking annoying prick. I get it, but
right, that's the thing.
I hope she
And
does kill me.
You mentioned you like the music for the most part.
Oh God, the music is great.
Thank RZA for that. People forget he did the original score, and of course Tarantino throws in his Ennio, the Western music from time to time. But yeah, RZA did some cool stuff with the score.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Wu-Tang.
great. And so many rappers and other artists have sampled all of that music that was used in both movies. Because I kept hearing songs, I'm like, wait, this was sampled. It's great. It's so influential. It's crazy.
Hey man, Young Buck first album, one of the hardest songs on Young Buck's first album is because of Kill Bill.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my take on great pair of movies.
All right.
Can't watch one without the other. And
before we move on, Nick, you gonna pick next. But before we move on, I should have said this before Melissa picked. Next episode is all Batman. So we don't necessarily have to talk about Batman 89 or The Dark Knight.
Sorry, Nick.
Yeah, we
there's gonna be a lot of Batman coming.
Yeah. Next episode.
All Batman episode.
Next episode is gonna be like Batman franchise, the Batman spoilers, reaction, and all of that. So if you want to talk about 89 of The Dark Knight, sure, let's go. But you don't have to.
Oh, we're gonna talk about it. Fine.
And while y'all was talking, I added Face Off.
You know, Randy, I kept like saving your list, and you kept changing it. Anyway.
You don't want to be talking about. I always be making changes on the fly.
Well, you decided you're like Face Off. It's a little better than Watchmen. You know what? It's a little better than Watchmen, but not as good as Aladdin.
Hey, it's not concrete.
Aladdin
it's just
great.
On there.
I love it. It's not as good as Aladdin, but it's a little better than Watchmen.
It's too hard to rank favorites.
Yeah.
Favorites are favorites.
I don't care. Like most of these, as much fun as I make, like I adore like all of these movies.
Yeah.
Like, I love them.
So
like we can talk about Friday.
Yeah, talk about Friday.
We talk about Scream, even though we like just did that.
Yeah, we did.
You guys talk about Scream enough.
We did just talk about Scream.
Yeah.
And I can keep going.
Scream is brilliant.
It's the best movie ever.
We're gonna talk about Jurassic Park in June.
And everybody's so mixed on the new one, just kind of reconfirms that Scream is like the best movie. We can talk about Friday. I don't care. Like we don't talk about Friday. I feel like
that was gonna be my pick for a very specific reason.
That's what I was like. I was hoping y'all would pick movies
that
we don't necessarily talk about a lot.
Eric wants to talk about Friday. I can talk about Dumb and Dumber.
Yes.
I love Dumb and Dumber.
we all do.
If I had to make a list of best comedies, Dumb and Dumber, Wayne's World, and Friday would be like in the top 5. American Pie would probably also be on that list.
Oh man.
So yeah, we can do that. Anchorman be in the conversation. We just talk about all the comedies on the list except for Friday.
Austin Powers.
I was
genius.
I loved Austin Powers as a kid. Like if you'd asked me when I was 12, I'd have been like, yeah, those are the best movies.
Yeah, baby.
So I'm like, yes, those are very funny. Like
I'm the opposite. Dumb and Dumber was like what I grew up with.
Yeah.
And when I watch Austin Powers now, I'm like, I think it's even more brilliant than when I was younger. I appreciate it more now, I think.
I like it now that I understand like pretty much 100% of all like the spoof and like the references and stuff. As a kid, I just took it for what it was. I'm like, dirtier than I should have been watching. Like I remember seeing The Spy Who Shagged Me and thinking like that might be the funniest movie I've ever seen.
Okay, we're not gonna. Let's not do. It's not on the list.
It's so good.
But that one in particular, like I'd seen the first one like in passing.
We could talk about
And then
Goldmember. I don't care.
I was like, okay, this is so funny, I could die. And then I saw Goldmember in theater with my sister, and like they felt like they were sneaking me, even though I was like 12. It was like PG-13. They were like, look, maybe don't tell your mom that we're gonna see this. And I was like, why? And it was like,
Nick just,
I don't know. Like, I was just like, why? Who cares?
Nick just goes home and yells shag at everybody.
I know I did the vagina neck joke at some point, and it was like, God, man. It's funny because it was bad. Oh, Jesus. Yes, all three
Powers. Yes. And let me
1 and 2 could be on here.
No.
I think I'm the oldest out of everybody here.
Oh,
I remember how I saw the first one in theaters, and I loved it. It was 99, right?
7.
No, 97. Yeah, 97. The second one was 99.
Yeah.
So the first one I saw in theaters, and I loved it, and I wanted to talk to everybody about it. Nobody knew what the hell I was talking about. The first one wasn't a big hit. It found its audience on
VHS,
video.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm like, man, it's yeah. And then the second one came out. Yeah, that was 99 because I graduated high school.
Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, has like the best teaser trailer of all time.
Yes,
I
because
swear.
they were capitalizing off of the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, no. It was like, if you're gonna see one movie this year, and it has like this list of every movie coming out in 1999, and it says see Star Wars. If you're gonna see another movie, see Austin Powers.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And the let me ask y'all this, a little trivia, because that's what I do. The Austin Powers theme, you know that one. Okay, do we know who composed that?
Mike Myers.
Thank you, Nick. People don't realize that's Quincy Jones is that's the Soul Bossa Nova.
I thought it was William Shatner wearing a Michael Myers mask.
That's just so crazy that people recognize that as the Austin Powers theme, and that Joker's probably older than some of our parents. He composed that in 1962.
Oh yeah.
He's in Goldmember.
Yeah, he's in the third one. And a lot of people don't get that reference. They probably thought it was a random cameo.
Yeah, I did as a kid.
It's crazy.
Like, he goes on and like Mr. Bacharach and Mr. Elvis Costello. And it's like, oh, they're there.
And don't forget the first movie. People forget Will Ferrell's great performance as Mustafa.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Back in the day when people didn't really know him too well.
Yeah. Then he came back too for the sequel, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. You remember me?
Damn, 3 times.
I love the first one, but I can't stand the sequels. I can't stand them. Yeah.
No.
Totally different humor. Like
Birthday ruined.
It's like he had a complete personality transplant. It's a totally different style of humor to me. Just not my thing. But I love the first one. I think the first one, the music is great. All of the music is great. Such a love letter to the '60s, and
yeah.
I love Elizabeth Hurley, and I love everything about it. I think it's so smart, so clever. And he kind of throws all that away with the second one, with just like fat humor and like farting or whatever the hell it's.
Yeah, the jokes. Yeah, he can't.
So stupid.
Can't disagree.
Lowest common denominator. Yeah. Anyways, that's just my take.
I like so much, and like people when like people talk about Austin Powers, it's one of those things, kind of like Back to the Future, kind of like Star Wars. It's like they'll be like, "Oh, I love this about Austin Powers." It's like, "Oh, well, that was in the second one." They'll talk about Mini Me. They'll talk about Fat Bastard. They'll talk about sharks with laser beams.
Right, and that's what I mean. Nobody. The first
one.
He
got so famous. I just think he just all of those things are just so. Having cameos in the middle of the movies, like introducing people. Here's Britney Spears. Like it's so not what the first movie was like. Sorry, Randy. It just drives me crazy. Like, we're going to have a Britney Spears music video in the middle of it. It's so ridiculous.
But she was a fembot.
Talking about it.
That's true, right?
With the movie, like, where it's like Tom Cruise. It turns around it's Tom Cruise. And then
Hey.
Like I remember thinking that was funny as shit.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I was also
Yeah, exactly. He decided to go for that demographic, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
The first one is very, very smart.
he got me. I think of Mike Myers as like a comedic genius.
Yeah.
Oh, he is for sure.
He hasn't done anything comedically genius in like 20 years.
Dude, the
It's
Love
very-
Guru killed his confidence.
It really did.
Yeah.
It's not even as bad as its reputation, but it is bad.
Yeah.
But to ask some people, you would think it was like,
Cat in the Hat.
sacrilege. I was like, it's just kind of racist and bad. Like it's just kind of
It's weird. It's like one of the weirdest. Yeah.
an odd choice. But like to me, like Wayne's World is the best movie ever.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Austin Powers are like Shrek is great, and I'm like, well, a genius on like a level of all the other people that you talk about geniuses, but he hasn't done.
Gosh, like
So
I wish I could have like Doctor Strange send me to like another universe so I can see like the Chris Farley finished Shrek just once.
on that, there's a video of it, but it's just him talking. It's kind of odd to be
For
honest.
real?
It's kind of weird. It's just him, his voice, and I'm like, Shrek was like the straight man, and Donkey was the idiot. And it's hard to picture Chris Farley as like the straight man, like
Yeah.
in that. Chris Farley and Eddie Murphy did a movie. Eddie Murphy would probably be the like normal one.
Yeah,
Chris Farley would.
for sure.
That's not the right word, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Did y'all ever listen to that raw footage of Chris Farley as Shrek?
Yeah. It's like just his voice. It's like
Yeah.
he's not he doesn't use an accent
No, I've never heard it.
or yeah.
It's very intriguing.
It would have been cool. I mean, that's why Shrek looks like he did. Like they'd have been like, "That's Chris Farley."
Yeah.
I've been like,
Oh man. Yes. Well, Mike Myers, Canadian royalty.
Yeah.
He
There's
forgets.
also something else I wanted him to do. He was supposed to do a Dieter movie, Sprockets
Yeah.
movie.
That's
I
interesting.
remember I read that script back in the day, and I think he has a hard time getting along with other personalities because that
Yeah.
movie never materialized. And
He and Dana Carvey fell out, and
yeah, and the director of the first Wayne's
Penelope.
World,
Yeah.
Spheris, It's too bad. There was all this potential in it.
You know,
I
of
don't know.
that,
He couldn't really deal with all the personalities. I think. I
of
don't
that
know.
like
Right.
early '90s, late '80s, like legendary Saturday Night Live cast. Like he's the only one that's kind of not really connected. Like Ben Stiller and Adam Sandler link up every so often.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
Adam
That's
Sandler's
crazy.
cool with all them dudes, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Mike was on the cast a little bit before them, maybe, and
Oh, for
definitely
real?
Dana, right?
Yeah.
And
They
then they're a little bit
intersected
older.
once.
They're a
Yeah.
little bit older, but yeah, then all those young boys came in. Adam
Right.
was so young when he was on Saturday Night Live. I think that's a different crew. Him, David Spade,
Right.
Rob Schneider. Those are all like lifelong bros. I don't think they really connected with Mike in the same way. That's interesting.
Crying
Mhm.
shame.
Yeah, you got to look into that. It is. We could do a whole episode about Saturday Night Live. People forget like Randy Quaid and Robert Downey Jr. and
Anthony
Anthony
Michael.
Michael Hall. that
Maybe
like one
it's like
scene.
maybe it's like what we said. Mike is like a singular guy. Like maybe he doesn't really like. He could have been lifelong collaborators with Dana Carvey, but that didn't really pan out,
Yeah.
right?
Even
right.
Dana Carvey worked with Adam Sandler.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah. Adam will work with anyone, anytime, any day, any paycheck. Like,
Oh, man.
Adam Sandler, holla at me.
A whole line of like Saturday Night Live movies based on skits, and there are a lot. There's a lot that have been forgotten to time, or that were like box office disasters that no one talks about. Like
yeah.
it's Cat movie. Like
Yeah.
you don't even remember this. Like Wayne's World is like the best one. It's
Oh,
not
of
even.
course.
Far and away.
Of course.
It's not
Yeah.
even like a discussion.
I
Like,
would
it's-
argue the Blues Brothers, but then the technicality is that really an SNL movie?
Yeah. Blues Brothers. I was gonna say like Blues Brothers. Maybe Gruber. Like Gruber is good.
Yeah.
It's not on that level. That's like it though. Like I can't even think. Like the Coneheads was like not good. It's just kind of like this classic. It's not a good film.
Nah,
And
it's not. Yeah, that's crazy. And
the ladies,
but Chris
man.
Farley, as always, was man. Chris Farley and his cameos, like in Wayne's World, the funniest part in that movie was a mistake with Chris Farley.
Yeah.
And like he was doing the directions, and he was like he pointed, then he did that. Like he pointed in the wrong direction, and he corrected himself, but it just looked like him being silly.
Everything about good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now Wayne's
Well,
World is definitely top tier. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
SNL movies.
It's a scientific fact.
Yeah. And even Wayne's World 2 is better than the average SNL movie.
It is. It is.
I mean, it's not Wayne's World 1. Don't get me wrong.
It's
But
not.
a lot of those SNL movies that exist are even they can't even touch Wayne's World 2. So that says a lot.
It's true.
That's what I mean. Mike is such a smart comedic guy. He's so clever, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he sold out. I don't know.
Wayne's World is so irreverent. And same with
Yes.
Austin Powers. Particularly the first Austin Powers.
Exactly.
So irreverent. Like, this is weird. Like, it shouldn't work. But it's just so good, and it does. It's like Anchorman is another movie you can compare to that. Like, it's so odd, and every choice made is an odd choice. But it's like also the right choice. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this. Like, why did we pan away to talk to the
owner.
Like, why did we pan away to just have him talk about murdering someone?
Yeah, that's my boy Ed O'Neill. That's my favorite like quote. It's just random and like what the like I never done a crazy thing in my life for that night.
Hello.
Yeah.
We're the only ones. All right.
Poor
And,
Randy. This is not even on his list.
Hey, fun fact for the normies out there: Jim Carrey was originally supposed to play Dr. Evil.
I knew that, but don't think about it.
I think like there was like a conflict with probably Liar Liar.
Too bad, eh?
That probably would have been great.
I
Why
can't
wouldn't-
imagine Jim Carrey as Dr. Evil.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine.
I mean, it would be different a little, but it would be
Yeah, for sure.
Genius. And y'all speak of Mike Myers as a genius. It's one thing a lot of people still don't realize about his performance as Dr. Evil is that it's an imitation of Lauren Michaels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Watch an interview of Lauren Michaels and you'll see it.
Everybody has like a Lorne Michaels impersonate. Like
And it's
everybody.
the same. Like, oh, he's doing Dr. Evil. Like, no, that's
So we're gonna see Lauren Michaels during the game tonight.
oh, good.
Everybody that's ever been on Saturday Night Live, like even like
Yeah.
Pete Davidson, like everybody. Like
Oh,
when
no,
they
I
do
think
it,
We don't talk about Pete
Lauren
Davidson.
no,
they,
no.
they-
Pete Davidson is why Kid Cudi's not gonna be on Donda 2.
who
Wow.
cares?
Exactly.
Oh, what?
Right.
All right, so
But it's
Eric, you talking about Friday?
so
Yeah,
Friday.
let's
But
do it.
yeah, so with Austin Powers 1, I think I agree because of the sequels. Austin Powers 1 is got to be underrated to some degree
Yeah.
because
Yes.
everything everybody remembers is from the sequels.
I say it's one of those things like
Like, Melissa,
the Matrix. There's so many things that people are like, oh yeah, Back to the Future. I love like the, oh my god, the boots and like the hoverboard. It's like that's the
Yeah.
second one.
Yeah, but it's still a trilogy. I mean,
Yeah.
so what if it's from the sequel? I mean, that's still loving.
it'll bring them back even if they ain't seen it
Austin
yet.
Powers, he just decided to do these sellout fucking sequels. Like it's
Yeah.
not. It wasn't conceived as a
They're so
trilogy.
funny.
Right.
I would probably agree. Like I said, like in hindsight, it's like when I
He
saw
got so
Goldberg,
famous, and he decided to have all these stars come in, and
Yeah.
don't get me started.
And we'll never know to the degree which studio interference made them do a lot of this stuff. You know,
Right? Exactly.
they like
Who
to
knows?
they dilute creativity. It's you know.
Exactly. I agree with you on that.
I'm
for
a,
sure.
but yeah, I definitely agree. The first one, good one.
it might be the best. Like I'm not saying it's not. I just for some reason it's like my fondest memory, like my memory of like sitting on my sister's floor, like watching that bastard. Like
You're right. I think a lot of people have that experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Around, like, oh my god, this is so funny.
So has everybody seen Friday?
Yeah.
The
I
1995.
only saw it for the first time in the past couple years, actually.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know what Friday is.
The last day of the work week. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
There
I know
it
what day it is. Well, that's a sequel, but I know what fucking day it is. But no, Friday, great movie,
After this
and it's
Friday,
very interesting.
the hood will never be the same.
There we go. I'm glad you said that line because there's something special about Friday,
The whole thing?
even outside of the movie itself. What'd you say, Randy?
The whole movie special, motherfucker?
Yeah, the whole movie. So the thing is, I don't know if you all noticed, I'm a black man.
Really?
And so early 90s, you got a lot of what Randy said, that quote. You got a lot of hood movies. Early 90s to mid 90s. Juice, Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood. You can technically throw probably Higher Learning in there. A lot of the experiences from the black point of view. Whoa. You are good. And there's even some I'm missing and I'm not naming. And the thing about those movies, all those movies, you know, stuff like that
that came all the way
does
down.
happen. Oh, it fell all the way down.
All the way down.
Oh,
Yeah,
We're gonna cut that in post.
Blooper reel.
Oh, no, we not. Yeah, South Central, Above the Rim.
South Central, yes, thank you. Above the Rim. A lot of those movies.
OG Bobby Johnson.
Especially South Central. That's a hidden gem if you haven't seen it. But the thing about those movies are, all those movies are probably great. But unfortunately, a lot of those movies are based in, there's a phrase, black trauma. So think about that when Friday comes on.
Right.
And the purpose Ice Cube and DJ Pooh had when they wrote this movie, like, hey, we have fun here too. It's not all just crime. It's not all just drama. We have good times. And they really poured themselves into this movie. This movie is top to bottom. It's like, I remember seeing this movie in theaters when I was in 8th grade. And there's like chunks of the movie you miss dialogue because people are still laughing from the previous scene. And
way to go,
there
Chris
is
Tucker.
violence and stuff that goes on within the movie that has something to do with, you know, Big Worm being a drug dealer. But I think that's the balance with the movie. All the other movies, everything is just crime. No lighter moments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you got to realize, you know, when other people watch these movies that are displaying a culture they don't understand, they think that this is it. And that's the problem with the media. Has to be careful how they portray this. Because, you know, people are, all black people are criminals that come from, you know, a lot of people are just circumstantial. People live in these bad neighborhoods because they just can't afford to get out. Everybody's not bad.
Yeah.
But, you know, Friday does an excellent job. Like, hey, look, it's something you don't usually see in other movie. It's a non-troublesome black family. Hey, these exist. Hey, get off your ass, get a job. You know what I mean?
Look,
a father who cares about his son.
I got a fun fact for y'all, too.
What's that?
The clothes that Craig wakes up in is the same clothes that Doughboy ended Boys in the Hood in.
Yeah, a lot of people miss that. That's pretty cool. And before he changed. And then, you know, even about that, I just had to get that fact out there. And of course, this movie doesn't introduce, well, for those of you who hadn't seen House Party 3, this movie introduces us to Chris Tucker.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Was it 95?
Yep.
95, yeah. And
Break
what was
yourself,
House Party
fool.
3?
I don't know when House Party 3
I know, Randy. It had been a year before, right?
93, 94.
Because like so many of the cast of House Party 3
I should
comes
watch
over.
House Party 3.
He was on Def Comedy Jam too. Like Chris Tucker was doing it.
He was, and he was just bound to be a star. And is this F. Gary Gray's directorial debut feature?
Yeah.
And he was making all the awesome music videos back at the time. It just brought all of this talent in. And they did it for peanuts too. All the actors, they all worked to scale.
Apparently, nobody told Faison Love.
Yeah, well, that gets twisted. He wasn't complaining. He was just stating. And he's being interviewed by that idiot who always does that with his headlines.
House Party 3 was January 12th, 1994.
Yeah, 94. But yeah, it's hilarious. It's an extremely funny movie, and it also shows us how many movies Boys in the Hood, Higher Learning, Ice Cube was in. Like Ice Cube could be funny, and that's something to think about back in the day. Like, Ice Cube has one of the most craziest scowls, like mean faces. And here he is when he first gets high for the first time. Now, that's some good acting. You don't really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Nick, Around here, you're gonna work, go to school. First of the month, rent is due. You ain't got to worry about catching a dog. You gonna have to worry about a dog catching your ass.
Catching your ass.
Yeah.
And it's a really
like I've always like I don't know. I've always like ever since the first time I saw it, I was like, well, that's one of my favorite movies
Ever.
There's just like something relatable about Craig in the first Friday to me, and like maybe that's a bad thing because like around like, without a job, and I'm like, oh, is this?
No,
me?
it's relatable. I agree.
Like everything he does, like he, the first time you see the dad, Craig's in the fridge, and like he closes the fridge.
oh my god.
And Craig's just staring at him like there's just so like I was like, shit, I do that. Like I do the exact because it's just little things like you said. Ice Cube is like really funny. Like he should do.
Yeah.
You better put some water on that damn shit.
Put some water. And talking about relevance, I bet you 99.9% of the people don't know where this audio comes from. Instagram, the audio of every time I'm in the kitchen, it's getting used on all these reels. I don't know if y'all been running into them like I have, and they filming people eating. Every time I'm in the kitchen, you in the kitchen.
In the goddamn refrigerator, eating up all the food. Hey, bro, Friday is one of those movies that I know line for line.
Yeah.
Don't let me keep going.
Batman '89. For some reason, I just through the whole thing. I'm just like, I say, you're full of shit, Knox. But like, Friday.
This movie has such a big place in pop culture. Like I had heard, and you know this, man, like a million times. And then when I finally saw the movie, I was like, oh, I didn't understand. And obviously, by Felicia, everyone knows that. But like, it's crazy how the lines from this movie have permeated because Black people, like, it's such a big part of their upbringing. And now it's just permeated. People use these phrases. They have no idea where it actually comes from. Because trust me, I didn't. I hadn't even seen the movie, and then I decided I should watch this. It probably came on or something, and then I was like, now I'm seeing where all this stuff came from. It's so cool.
Yeah, and that's my point. What I was saying earlier. You know, people like suburban kids, mostly suburban white kids. They haven't interacted with a Black person until they become adults. And I ran into these people, and they think they see these movies. No, I mean that's they run and they think they are scared. I go,
they're scared.
And then they get no. I'm serious. I'm not the most intimidating dude in the world.
This isn't basketball, J-Rock. Yo,
like, no, I'm not the most intimidating guy in the world. I'm only 5'9" or something like that. And then I decided to go to a mall far away, and people be staring at me, and I'm just. I have my headphones on. I'm have the mean look, and I'm listening to the Backstreet Boys. I'm like, man, I'm not trying to. But no, like Melissa said, this movie is opening up like oh okay, like yeah, we don't have to be scared just because we see you. But yeah, it's crazy and
it's
it's
one thing.
Like, it's all levity. It's like light and it's like it's fun and it's like. Just relaxing almost. Like it's just a relaxing time, right?
It's a comfort movie to me. Like I love to those movies I revisit like 2 years like tops. I'll go. I'll be like, you know what? I need to watch Friday. I need to put on Friday.
Man, but like I'll have to rewatch the whole trilogy and like we were saying off wax, I don't want to watch Friday After Next in like random summertime.
I don't watch
Christmas movie.
Yeah.
When I watch
I haven't seen the sequels yet, but I definitely will.
And like, I wish I could like sit down with like F. Gary and Ice Cube because they added that Felicia reference, that by Felicia reference in Straight Outta Compton. So I want to know if that was like a wink at Friday or if something like on an NWA tour inspired that shit.
It was probably a wink at Friday.
It probably was.
Yeah.
I can't believe how big that became. The bifleet, that was huge. It was crazy.
It's simple and straight to the point, and you get it. And
that's what I was saying. That like everybody that says "Bye Felicia" does not know that it.
No, I don't think they do. I don't think they do.
Bye, Felicia.
Because I had heard it for a long time, and then I think I went on YouTube and found the real clip. Yeah. So personally, I'm one of those people.
And like them last two movies that we talked about, man, like Friday and Austin Powers, like they're both New Line, and you could tell like they're the first one, both original movies like have this like smaller budget, and they look how they look, and New Line like increased the budget on every sequel, and they all just look more polished.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and it's unfortunately, sorry to bring the episode down a little bit about a lot of people who appeared in Friday are no longer with us. Like a lot. John Witherspoon, Tiny Lister Jr., Ronaldo Ray, Yvette Wilson,
Bernie
Anthony
Mac.
Johnson, Bernie Mac,
That's
and
so sad.
yeah, I think Anthony Johnson, who played the neighborhood crackhead, Ezel, the most recent death.
I don't kill.
I don't kill. And I'm sorry, there's another one. People miss this. R.I.P. Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah.
That's he was
no non-speaking role. He's basically an extra.
I'm blanking on the name. What's the dude name that played Red's dad?
Name in the movie? That's Ronaldo Ray.
Okay.
Yeah, like you want somebody's too old, man?
No.
Wow, you guys really not like this.
So, I mean, let's get off. We got so many.
There's little things from the movie that I like. I just like somebody will ask me something, I'll just be like, not a damn thing.
Yeah.
Like,
You got knocked the fuck out.
I want to ask y'all one more question. If y'all noticed, did y'all put this together? So, Craig, Ice Cube, got fired because some boxes were stolen from his job, right? How you gonna get fired
on your day off?
On your day off. So remember, there's a scene in the movie
what,
where
you trying to build a clubhouse.
There's a scene in the movie where Ezel was running down the street with some boxes.
Oh.
Really? I saw him running down the street, but I never put two and two together that maybe those were the boxes that Craig got blamed for.
Is that he's who got Craig fired.
Damn.
I don't know. I like to ask F. Gary Gray, who makes a cameo in the movie.
Yeah. Get your ass up. It ain't even wet over here.
His old Oakland, California accent over here.
Wet over.
But yeah, that's we got so many other movies,
bro,
but
like huge shout to F. Gary Gray. Like I hate that his most recent movie is Men in Black International. Because bro, he got Set It Off. He got The Negotiator. He got A Man Apart. He got The Italian Job. He got some good shit.
He got some bangers, yeah.
Law Abiding Citizen.
Yeah.
Did he do the Fate of the Furious?
Yeah. Yeah. The A one, right?
Yep.
Fate of the Furious. I didn't want to be
release the grade cut because the version of MIB International is the producer's cut.
Ass.
So
thank God you said it.
No. Men in Black International is trash.
Yeah. Let's capitalize off of Tessa Thompson and Hemsworth's chemistry.
That's it.
You gotta do more than that. But anywho, that's. So what do we got next? We're gonna spin.
Yeah, what block in your list?
Melissa's pick.
Me? Okay. I could talk about I'm gonna sound like Nick. I could talk about so many things because Randy and I have a lot of overlap in taste. Like the first Aladdin, I mean, I grew up with that. That's one of those movies I know every single word. I know every single nuance of that damn movie. We probably watched that VHS 1,000 times. I don't know. I mean, totally agree with you on that, and it holds up. Just I know it off by heart. It's hard for me to watch a movie I know off by heart. That's the only thing. The first Batman I love. We're gonna talk about that next time. Back to the Future. I agree with you on that, but I love all three.
Yeah.
So what do you think about 2 and 3? You put one on this list, but come on, Randy.
It's a perfect trilogy.
It is. I mean, all 3 movies I give 5 stars. I love. I had this thing where we grew up with 1 and 2, but I never watched 3 as much. I don't know why. And maybe because it's a Western and it's like, what kind of 10-year-old girl?
That's what makes it amazing.
But I watched it as an adult and I'm like, oh my God, this movie is just as good. Maybe because like the future is more fun. Like Nick always says, people remember the future when they talk about Back to the Future.
Yeah. The hoverboards and the air mags.
Cool. The hoverboard, the Cubs winning, all that shit is amazing. But then 3 is a Western. It goes
Power
to the past. Maybe when I was a kid, I didn't really care. Yeah. But now, man, and Michael playing all these different roles, it's so good. It's so funny too.
Yo,
I was laughing my ass off watching 3. He's wearing that pink cowboy outfit, and they're all making fun of it. Like, it's so funny. It's such a good movie.
I've always wondered in Back to the Future 2, they have Michael J. Fox playing his younger son. Why is he playing his younger daughter and not Elizabeth Shue?
Because it's funny. Because it's funny.
It is funny.
Well, yeah, that's
It is.
probably all to it.
That's it. It's
I
funny.
didn't even question it. That's weird, isn't it? But it's one of those things I grew up with that you don't question. I don't know. It was
Yeah.
normal to us.
I mean, the genius of Zemeckis.
He's so cute that they're like, let's just try and see what happens. I don't know. That is weird though. You're right. I guess.
I would say like 2 and 3. I would say like are not as good as 1.
No, of course not. Yeah, but they're still great.
Yeah.
Not as good as 1, I agree, but I only realized that as an adult. Like 2 has some flaws that I didn't see when I was younger. 3, I don't know. 3's still really good.
I love 2. I would say 2 and 3 are about as good as one another, and they're both
Right.
1 is a 5. I would say they're both like 4s.
So I want to speak Back to the Future.
But
Go ahead, Nick.
Nah, I love 3. I think 3's underrated. Like
Yeah,
nobody
it
ever.
is. By me, I underrated it for sure, and now I see how good it is.
Nobody talks about 3. Like they talk about 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like this where they went to the future, and this is the day where they came back. Nobody ever talks about 3, and like 3's great.
Yeah.
The
ZZ
love
Top-
story with
ZZ Top
Mary
was getting
Steenburgen
busy.
and Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd's first on-screen kiss.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Ever.
ZZ Top was getting busy.
He was not young when he did that.
Nah, you're like 55 or something.
That's actually
80s.
so romantic. I mean, that you would go to this time and stay in this time just for this woman. Oh my God,
Right.
it's so good. Sorry, it's so good.
3's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I see what you're doing, Melissa. You with Austin Powers and now what's some with Michaels that are Canadian.
Yeah.
That's a coincidence, but no,
I mean,
Michael J.
Michael J. Fox is an icon. That's why they made him play the daughter. He's the star.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Randy.
Definitely.
Not Elizabeth Shue. She wasn't even supposed to be the love interest.
No.
Remember, it was supposed to be someone else. So.
Yeah,
I'm never gonna disagree with anything Robert Zemeckis wants to do.
No, it's just it's extreme. It's lightning in the bottle. Back to the Future 1. Everything works.
Perfect movie.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect movie. There was a complaint. It's skipping my mind now that somebody had on it. Oh, there we go. It's not really a complaint. So one thing that they did in the sequels that the filmmakers admit this, the writers at least, and even them Zemeckis, Marty McFly is the flawless character. Think about it. From the first movie, he has almost nothing wrong. Think about this. The second movie, he has the, what are you? Yellow and what are you? Chicken? That's his flaws. He's hot-headed in the sequels, right? Everybody else in the first movie has an issue he has to fix. He's the same person he was at the beginning of the movie that he is at the end of Back to the Future 1.
Yeah.
But he's like a brat, right? Like he hangs out with an old man all day. The principal hates him. I mean, I don't know
that
about
doesn't
that.
change.
You're a slacker, McFly.
Yeah, think about it.
But when you say flawless, like I don't understand because
he doesn't have any flaws like in the sequels. He's a hothead and he corrects that. Like with the thing with him crashing into the truck, he doesn't race them because he learns his lesson.
But he specifically has no character development.
The point is that he has no arc. Like
he has no arc. Yeah, I was about to get to that. No traditional arc. And that's what they said about
the movie's still perfect.
Wrong with that. It's just
I'll
an
think about
observation.
it when I rewatch it. I guess
the movie's still perfect. Who cares?
Yeah, it's
right.
perfect.
No, that's the thing. It works together.
That's how genius that movie is.
Right.
Oh, so he ends up back at the start. You mean, right, Eric? Is that what you're saying?
And just they correct that sort of, give him something to work toward for himself.
So
he never had a chicken moment in the first one. I never thought about that.
Yeah, I never thought about that either.
He's just a badass. Well, he's
like a Bart Simpson, like.
Yeah, exactly. That's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
But it's not a complaint from me. It's just an observation.
Interesting. Never thought about it like that.
What are you, Yellow? Eastwood?
Because I'm a geek and a nerd. I used to wear.
That's what we do.
A jean jacket with the vest over it.
Yeah.
when I was, I don't know. I just like that style and the Nike shoes.
Are you going swimming?
Like the dork think he's gonna drown.
I don't think that's geeky. I mean, I think Michael J. Fox is the coolest. So
yeah, and that's the thing. He was like I said about my height. I'm probably the shortest out of the guys on here.
I'm 5'9", 5'10".
Michael J. Fox 5'2".
Yes.
But his presence is so huge. You're like, oh, I don't have to be ashamed to be a shorter guy. And
yeah.
That's true. Interesting.
Yeah, but
Women say the same thing about short women too that are like iconic. That's so cool. Like,
and
yeah,
shout out to
he's so cute.
shout out to Billy Zane
And Elijah Wood.
Back to the
Jason
Future.
Scott Lee. Yeah.
Jason Scott Lee.
I was watching the Bruce Lee story. I was like, oh my god, this is the guy from Back to the Future too. Like, maybe when I was a kid I knew, but it's been so long. I was like,
and that laugh of his. I don't know if you remember it. He's like, those boys don't work on water. And then Jason Scott Lee, unless you got power. And then the laugh.
That's so
but yeah.
cool.
And
I wish he had a bigger career, but whatever. That's a different podcast.
Yeah,
He was just in Mulan.
Ooh,
yeah, that's true, right? Yeah.
Nice.
He's still working.
Good. I'm happy to hear that.
But yeah, it's amazing that the Robert Zemeckis, how this movie even got made. You can go back and look and check that out.
It's a fun one. Even if you like watch like, there's that show on Netflix about the movies that made us. Or
a
whatever.
great show.
Yeah.
It condense it down for you. It's a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that.
I think I've only seen the Home Alone episode,
It's
Oh
fun.
no, I do watch.
which could also be on here.
Throw a rock at any of them; they'll all be entertaining.
Damn, I gotta watch that.
And oh yeah, and a little kind of related little tidbit. The new DeLorean company, the refurbished DeLorean company, is based here in Dallas. They rent them out for your birthdays and stuff. It's only
Hey.
Randy, you should do it.
Eric about to hook me up.
$2,000 a day, you got it.
Damn.
And they have the Back to the Future one that you can rent too, and they got the regular ones you can rent.
Let's
That's
go.
so cool. I wish we had that here, but should be for Michael.
Somebody does it, I'm sure. It's a money making thing, but
yeah.
So what was that? That was Back to the Future. That's funny. We talk about one movie, and then we get into the sequel. We did Austin Powers.
Yeah.
It always had Friday.
Yeah, pick one without a sequel.
No, let's
Is there any on this list?
Andy loves those trilogies and whatever. Kill
let's
Bill
take a
is
break
called.
and then jump back in. Picking back up, Nick, it's your go, so go, sir.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about one that like doesn't have a sequel.
There's no criteria.
Good luck.
Just pick a movie.
War. Like I'll say Infinity War, and we'll be talking about all of that for like the next hour.
Yeah.
True.
Which I would be fine with, but I don't know if everyone
Completely
wants to do
down.
Well, we can talk about Infinity War. We could cap it. We just leave it. Maybe don't spend an hour talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm down. It's the best. It's the best MCU movie.
That's why it's on there.
I said it. Yeah, I said it. Controversial. Sorry.
I don't know these movies.
If you didn't want controversy, you shouldn't have tuned in.
Would I have liked it better than Black Panther? I don't know.
I don't know. The general consensus, to me, when like Black Panther got all its Oscar nominations, it was like, wow, awesome, finally a comic book movie. But the general consensus by most people was that Infinity War was the better movie of the two.
Wow. Eric,
And
what
then-
say you?
Yeah, I agree.
Most people were like, well, come on now.
You agree? Damn. Okay.
But I like Black Panther. But overall, it's because of what Infinity War, what it had to build. Even though it's technically a sequel, it's its own movie because of what it has to build. What it does build, how successfully it does it. I mean, character-wise. Think about it. Everybody knows by now. Well, I don't know if you watched it. Thanos is the star of the movie.
Yeah.
Which is amazing and awesome. And it makes us not necessarily sympathize with what he's doing, but definitely understand why he's doing what he's doing. And the editing, like back to the Oscar crap, this movie should have been nominated, and I say probably won Best Film Editing. 20 characters this movie is juggling. And it's doing it very... then they break into groups, and it hops back and forth, and you don't necessarily, right when you thought you forgot about something, it goes right back to one group A, group B, and then they action. I mean, this movie has some of the best action in any action movie. And wow, it's so much to say about it. And
Many things about it that shouldn't work. It's like I've said before.
Yeah.
It's like it could have been a disaster by everything we've seen. Like, you think of all these movies, like the Batman movies from the '90s, Spider-Man 3, all these movies, where it's like, what's the problem? It's like, oh, there's way too many characters and not enough juggling all this, too many plates up in the air. You can't do it. Everything about Infinity War should have like not worked. It should have been the first MCU movie where everyone was like, it's too much. It's too much. Let's bring it down. Like, we miss Iron Man. Like, it's too much. But it's not. It's good. It's like the best of all time. I saw it 3 times in the theater, and every time I was.
Damn.
yeah, same.
I think I did too.
I saw Endgame 4 times. Not really on purpose. I just ended up being with different groups of people that.
And which one of y'all said? I forget who it was. I'm just talking about performances, like an Oscar category for best mocap performance.
I brought up mocap.
Yeah, and think Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
And this, I mean, you don't not once you don't think you're looking at a CG creation.
Yeah.
Ooh. Be purple.
Yeah. And this movie, speaking of this, how you kick off a movie, you create stakes. And when the movie opens up, with I'm sure people know by now, Loki, and then Heimdall, and
Yourself.
show don't tell. Getting to know the character. When Thanos shows up on the ship, he's holding Thor. He's about to do something to him. You're like, I assume you have a preference. Talking to Loki, you're like, oh, I do. And Loki says, kill away.
Kill away.
There's a moment where Thanos, he doesn't just do the thing. He has a moment of shock.
Yeah.
Like, oh, really? Stuff like that. It matters when establishing the character. Like, who would have thought? I mean, take that little part out and just see how meaningless it is.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But that's just me. Yeah, it's yeah, I like Black Panther, but I like this movie a lot more.
God damn. Okay.
And they should have nominated 2 movies.
The consensus was like the Academy was like, look what we did. Look what we did for the.
And that's.
I'm telling y'all, yeah, it was just to appease social media.
Yeah, and that's a shame. And then if that is what they were doing, and the only reason that they were doing it, people blame the movie for it.
Yeah.
And not them.
Yeah. And that's what it was. They were like, well, look what we gave you. And it's like, well, if we're being fair, Into the Spider-Verse and Infinity War both came out the same year and were arguing.
Yeah, you could have.
Yep.
You could have picked those too.
And that's the problem with the whole, Academy, and they. Wait, we don't really want to make a difference. We'll pretend that we kind of want to make a difference, but not really.
Yeah. It's like tossing crumbs.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's meaningless symbolism. There you go. It's a nothing sandwich, a nothing burger.
I'm still hungry.
Jan's talking about what's a good plate with nothing on it. What does that mean? I don't know, man.
But yeah, I think Infinity War is that's it. That's probably that's great. As Martin Scorsese would say, it's great cinema.
That's what pisses me off, because I saw it in the cinema and was like,
okay, I'm
blown
sure
away.
Scorsese's like me and he hasn't seen them. He's just talking. I don't think he knows the whole arc.
And people misconstrue what he says. He's just not saying he hates it.
No, yeah, he didn't say like, oh.
Yeah. He just said it's not cinema, okay?
Let these teenagers have their knee-jerk reaction who haven't even seen The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, yeah. I mean, it's 2 parties talking to each other that don't care about each other. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
That was one of those rare, those times where I was in the middle. I felt like my opinion on it was the only one that mattered.
There you go. There you go.
My opinion is what matters.
There you go.
I love them both. Eric, it's your turn.
What's that? We done with Infinity War?
Yeah.
Melissa hasn't seen them.
No, yeah.
I listened politely. Homer Simpson smiling politely that I was doing it.
Oh man.
But there was the monkey toy with the thing in your head, right?
It's Bob
It's just spinning around on the kitchen floor.
Yeah, that's a great scene. How they all just laugh and then they slowly realize when he's spinning.
He's so relatable. It's sad that I relate to him now, instead of like Lisa or something.
So what do we got? Pick a movie.
We got a lot.
All right, so I'm gonna go with this one because I think this movie is extremely underrated, and I don't know why this director. It seems to be on Twitter. It seems to be popular to not like this filmmaker who is objectively a great filmmaker. 2009's Watchmen.
There you go.
Directed by Zack Snyder. And in my opinion, one of the greatest comic book adaptations ever. Based on the Watchmen series of or what do you want to call it, graphic novels or whatnot, by Alan Moore, and I forget the other artist who wrote it. And depending on, even if it's just the theatrical version of the movie, my preferred version is the ultimate cut, which has longer scenes, character development, and also integrates tales from the Black Freighter back into it, which is a story within the story. This is a 5-star movie across the board for me, and extremely great world building, character development, and I just don't see how anybody could not like this movie. You're probably not into comic book movies, even if you're not. I think a good movie is a good movie, and I think that's what this is. So, yeah, Watchmen, great movie, great performances.
I saw the theatrical cut, and like I've always thought it was like good.
Mm-hmm.
Like probably like a 3.5-er. I always thought it was good. It felt like it was so long, and it was still like one of those things. I was like, I feel like they made a lot of cuts to this.
Yeah.
Kind of like trying to think of something to compare it to, but it just felt like I was like, I feel like it was one of those books that they talk about being unfilmable, which it's funny how they always find a way to like make like Life of Pi and all these books.
No such thing as unfilmable.
Yeah. But I remember thinking, like, I was like, I feel like they had to make sacrifices to like make this movie be like work. And then I saw the ultimate cut for the first time, maybe like 6-7 years ago. Like I don't remember, but like it's so much better to me. Like the ultimate cut, and that's not always the case. People will tell you that the extended version is always better, and like that's not always the case. Nope. The ultimate cut of Watchmen is like way better to me. Like with all the added stuff, it's just like, wow, this is cool. It's long.
Yeah.
It's like 4 hours long or something like that. It's too long, but it's still like, wow, this is way cooler. Way more like immersive. Like you get lost in it after a while.
Jackie Earle Haley, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Patrick Wilson, Malin Eckerman, brilliant.
Pretty much all of E-listers. Like to be, in fair, no offense to them, but like no, like that's another thing. Like all great actors for like what they did. There wasn't like a marquee star. Like it wasn't like, I don't even know. It was just like, Matthew Good is the guy.
Yeah, Carla Gugino.
Guy from The Thing, and it was like, oh, yeah, them. But like they were all good. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is insanely good.
I feel like this was supposed to be the vehicle to like take him to the next level, and it kind of didn't until like Walking Dead.
Everybody noticed that, like when he got cast as Negan, it was like, who's gonna play Negan? It was Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Everyone who had seen Watchmen was like,
yes,
oh, this
yes,
is gonna be. And everybody who'd seen Grey's Anatomy was like, what?
What?
No. What? It's like, no, I promise he's gonna kill this.
That's what. No, but he was famous from Grey's Anatomy. I don't know.
Melissa, you haven't seen Watchmen?
He was like a B-lister.
No, my only contribution is that I was working at Cineplex when it came out, and people love that movie.
Yeah.
Like, I know you guys say it's underrated, maybe among normies, as you say, but people who appreciate that type of movie, trust me, it has its passionate fan base, which is cool. I always love to see that that was a big hit in my theater days. So yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it, but sure, it's good.
Yeah.
Or what-
And even in a comic book movie, there's like a backhanded insult toward like your standard villain like monologue and what Matthew Ozymandias,
Mm.
you know, played by, was Matthew Good, you said?
Yeah.
And he's telling him what he plans to do, and it was like who's Jackie Earl Haley, and he's like, you think we're not gonna let you get away with this? You're like, you think I'm gonna tell you my master plan with any chance of you stopping it? You're like, I set that bomb off 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Thinking
that was
of a
great.
master plan.
Yeah.
Melissa, it's your pick.
We could easily talk about Dumb and Dumber, Toy Story, Lion King. Any of those three, I mean, I have a lot of experience with, at least. So,
Well, pick
I
one.
don't know. Toy Story, I mean, I don't know the sequels as well as you, Randy. It's one of those things where I love the first one,
They're
and
all three
pretty
perfect.
much know it off by heart. I think it was one of those things, not exactly as harsh as Austin Powers. I think I saw the sequels and was like, okay, but everyone went insane for them. Obviously, I love the first one. I mean, you know, Tim Allen and Tom Hanks. It's such a funny movie. It's just so funny. It's so clever.
They're peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, when when Buzz realizes he's a toy, like he goes crazy and he has that tea party. I mean, I think that stuff is
Mrs.
hysterical.
Nesbit.
It's hysterical. Like, it's so funny on so many different levels because kids love it, adults get it. Like, that's just a genius, wonderful movie. I mean, obviously it was so groundbreaking and such a big deal, and you know, I still love it. I still think it's so funny. I don't know. I don't have great memories of the second and third, so I think it was more about like the emotion and like people say they always cry. And Toy Story one, I like it because I like those clever, funny, sarcastic movies. Like Nick said, irreverent. You know, it's very irreverent, right? And it's just so smart, and that's such a good movie.
The emotion is why I have 3 ranked higher.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that.
But like 3 is my favorite sequel, but it's one of the rare. It used to be a trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Trilogies where I gave 5 stars to 1, 2, and 3. I think 1, 2, and 3 are all just
perfect.
Everybody talks about 2. I don't know why. Toy Story 2 is so good, like I could die. Like every time I watch Toy Story 2.
Is that the one with Jesse? I don't even know these.
Yeah.
Okay.
You meet Jesse and Bullseye and Zurg and like all these characters. And they go through the toy store and the fucking Barbie cart. Like, oh, that's so good.
I tour guide Barbie.
Oh, I love 2.
Right,
and
like
then,
the
like,
wind,
3,
Bullseye.
But I never thought of 1 and 2 as like emotional movies. I was always just like, God, great movies.
Yeah.
From
Right.
3 came out. It was like getting stabbed. Like it was like, oh my god.
Yes.
The incinerator. I don't care how many times I'm watching Toy Story 3. The incinerator scene gets me.
God, dude, like when he's giving the little girl the toys, he's introducing.
Yeah, like Andy giving his toys to Bonnie is Will Smith asking Uncle Phil how come his dad doesn't want it.
No, yeah.
Every time.
Like I was like 20 years old. Like I was an adult. Like I was itty bitty.
Grown
like,
man.
I was like as old as like Andy's supposed to be. Like a little older.
Right.
I'm like I was in the theater like, are you fucking kidding me? Like fuck this. And that's why like 4 is good.
Yeah.
4 might even be very good. But I never shook that feeling of like we didn't need a 4.
Yeah.
It was good for what we got. Like they were like, well, we need to make a 4. So what we got was very good, but it was still like they capped it off so perfectly at the end of 3.
But hey,
was like,
come June,
I get that.
Come June and Lightyear's coming out, I am watching all 4 of these like a small child.
And I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about the Buzz thing? Does it annoy you or?
I think it looks great.
Yeah, it's an interesting take on the actual
Some
character.
people are kind of annoyed with the whole like cash grab, I guess. But okay.
I mean, it might be a cash grab.
Is the Buzz thing that he's getting his own movie?
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, like
It might be a great cash
I
grab.
think seeing the astronaut that inspired the toy is genius.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. They made the cartoon
I
show
hope it's funny. I hope
that
it's
everyone
good.
forgets, apparently. It's called Buzz Lightyear of Star Command.
No, like, I want
Yeah.
that. I need that to be like a Disney Movie Club exclusive Blu-ray.
Yeah, 'cause I got the movie. They made a movie first.
The clam case.
And then and I used to watch that movie all the time. And it's nothing insanely special, but it is about Buzz Lightyear, the guy, and like him working at Star Command and fighting Zurg and doing all that. It's a lot of fun. People forget that. Like I'm watching the Lightyear trailer, like I wonder if any of the people from the cartoon show are going to be in this. Probably not, but it would be cool if like what was the little robot that he was with showed up, but he probably won't. He looks like he's with a robot cat.
Yeah.
But the original Toy Story, although, have I told y'all about like the Christmas thing that it totally rips off?
Yeah, I think you did.
I don't remember.
It was I think a TV special, it was Jim Henson special in the
Right.
late, it's called The Christmas Toy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
We probably talked about it on a Christmas episode or something.
Yeah, a bunch of toys. Night before Christmas, they have like a meeting in the room. Like, hey, we got new toys coming in, so nobody forget. The favorite toy is a cat. He's really worried that he's going to get replaced with his favorite toy. Goes
Wow.
downstairs, opens a present. It's a space like warrior princess doll, and she breaks out of her box. Does not realize she's a toy. There's a whole thing. It's I would say like it came out like 9 years before
You
Toy Story.
are a toy.
Yeah, it was the whole thing. I was like, what the fuck?
You're a child's plaything.
It's a whole thing. They have like a meeting in the bedroom. Like all toys.
Staff meeting,
Yeah.
everybody.
It's sad when you become an adult and you research all your favorite stuff and see that it's ripping off something
Well,
else.
I'm like,
Yeah.
you're telling me someone else had this same exact idea and just never watched this? Like they were just like, what if the toys? I don't care. Toy Story's better.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
Oh,
But it's
man.
like
That's
it's like DreamWorks always used to get for copying Disney. It's like Disney did A Bug's Life and then DreamWorks did Ants.
Yeah.
And it was like, or it was, you know, it was always something. Finding Nemo, Shark Tale. The movies were never similar at all.
Right.
Even a little, like Ants is nothing like A Bug's Life. A Bug's Life is kind of like Seven Samurai. And then like Ants is like its own weird thing. But anyway, Toy Story's good.
Yeah, it is. It is good. Classic.
Eric, Toy Story thoughts?
Yes.
I think about Toy Story.
Nah, great movie. Like Nick was saying, definitely cash grab with Part 4. They all had the perfect trilogy. Yeah,
It
should
was-
have left it alone.
I will say, like, you know, for something that we did not need, it was as good as it could
Yeah.
probably. Like, I don't know if we could have gotten a better for.
I swear Pixar was probably like in a boardroom. Hey, we got to plan out the next 10 years.
Right.
Well, Incredibles 2 finally. Finding Dory. Let's do a Cars 3. Skip a year. Let's cook out some original Coco, Onward, Soul. But we need something for 2019. Any ideas?
Something. Oh,
How about Toy Story 4? Fuck it, let's go.
Imagine that's what that,
Fuck it,
what
let's
that
do
went
it.
like.
But hey, we got
Oh, yeah.
we did get Duke Kaboom, so there's that.
it was great. Like Toy Story 4 is really good. Like I feel like as much shit
Oh,
as
that's
like
Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
so good. There's so much of it. I liked Gabby Gabby. I
Yeah.
liked meeting Loki again, even though we didn't need it. It was just like it was
Right.
perfect in 3 because it's not like they were a married couple. They were always kind of flirty. So the fact that 3 starts and she's gone, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
But I'll tell you
reference
this.
it's like now she's this important character and she's like Xena. It's like okay,
Yeah.
I guess.
What a lot of this, we at least I'm doing it, exposing the flaws of these I'm not even gonna say these. I'm gonna say that award show, the Oscars Academy Award. I think Toy Story, the first one, is Best Picture worthy. Nomination.
Yeah, it wasn't. I guess it wasn't. Was it?
No, that it should have been, and this is before that sweet spot before the Best Animated Feature category existed.
Oh wow!
And before that, the only movie in recent times to get nominated for Best Picture was Beauty and the Beast.
I was about to say, did any Pixar movie get nominated before Up?
No, not for straight Best Picture. I don't think.
Toy Story 2 won the Golden Globe for Best Picture.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
because
crazy.
if animated feature had been a thing, it wouldn't have even been nominated probably, and it won.
Right.
I think about a lot, probably more than an adult man should.
The Golden Globe at least gives two chances. At least they have one for drama and one for comedy, right?
Comedy and musical.
Won the Golden Globe for comedy.
So,
they just throw anything in that category, like anything that's not a straight Oscar bait drama.
Yeah.
But at least they get a chance.
That's what the Golden Globes have always had to me. I'm like, at least sometimes some things get acknowledged, like Jack Black in School of Rock.
Right.
Like that. It's like, God, at least they got acknowledged.
Even though sometimes they acknowledge the shittiest performances of all time, like
James Corden, The Crown. Well, no offense to James Corden.
I wasn't gonna name my pick because I felt that. So yeah, there you go.
No offense, James Corden. I enjoy your work.
Nick, is it your turn?
Is it?
Yeah.
Let's talk about. Okay, we talked about Toy Story. Let's talk about Toy Story 3.
Ass.
We could do since we already kind of did, we could do a Scorsese thing. Like you got Departed and Goodfellas, right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do the little Scorsese corner.
Yeah.
Wow, so Randy, you really do love MCU and Scorsese.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's what I said. I was like, we have the only opinion that matters.
Yeah.
Because we have.
That's interesting. You put those two. I want to ask y'all a question right now. All of y'all.
It's like 1 and 1A. I can't pick. I know I have The Departed higher, but it's like they're both just brilliant.
Yeah, how do you rank your top favorite? It's not possible. Not possible.
The three of y'all. Which one would y'all rather want? Which one would y'all want to watch right now? Dances with Wolves or Goodfellas?
Goodfellas, no question.
I know you want everyone to say Goodfellas, but
No, say it.
I remember that I like
No.
Dances with Wolves too, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm talking about right now. I'm not talking about which one is better.
If Dances with Wolves is your vibe, then say it.
A certain movie.
I don't know.
Which one would you pull off the shelf and put in right now? Sit down and be thoroughly entertained.
I don't even own Dances with Wolves, so there you go.
And that's saying something. You got 100,000 freaking movies.
Hey, man.
Nobody quotes Dances with Wolves. Nobody cares. But
That's my point.
I get your
I could have
point.
went that route too.
Nobody wakes up and says...
I love Dances with Wolves. I love Kevin Costner.
Nobody has ever said, since I can remember, I always wanted to be a wolf.
But I've seen Goodfellas recently, so it's fresh in my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Dances with Wolves, great movie. But
sure.
At very least, I would have gave Dances with Wolves Best Picture, but Scorsese deserved that Best Directing Oscar.
I understand. Yeah, I mean that's one of those common Oscar snubs that people love.
And the crazy thing is, I said it's funny because Randy has both of these movies on his top list. The Departed is the movie where Scorsese finally got his Best Director Oscar.
Oh right, okay.
And that reminds me of the joke that Jon Stewart made. 3 6 Mafia won an Oscar before Martin Scorsese.
Gosh.
Yeah. That's just funny to me, but yeah.
I make those jokes all the time about the Grammys because it makes me so mad what kind of artists get nominated for Grammys. Anyway, I could go on.
No, you're right. But yeah, it's nuts.
The Chainsmokers were fucking nominated for a Grammy. Anyway.
That's something I can talk about the Grammys all the time. I'm like, it's such a thing.
It's so stupid. 3 6 Mafia is good for what they do, but yeah, that's funny. I mean, it's a funny joke.
Yeah, but The Departed, great movie based on a series of movies, Infernal Affairs. I recommend that if you can find it.
How many movies is it?
3, if I'm not mistaken.
Damn, holy.
So yeah, they did a real good job adapting that into one movie. But yeah, Goodfellas is
But I remember when it came out, it was buzzed. Like it was like, dude, this movie's so sick, and I was like, well, I'm never gonna see it. I'm like 14 or.
I'm like 14.
And it was like immediately, who's gonna do the American remake? And it was like, oh, good, maybe I will see it.
Yeah, The Departed is just that's fantastic.
Man, I was deployed when this shit came out. I didn't even get a chance to see it in theaters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Dude, I fucking love that shit.
I always thought I liked Goodfellas. I mean, it's a great movie, and I rewatched it recently, right? And it's like, holy shit! No wonder I spend like 20 years between watches because it's like it's difficult for me to watch. I mean, it's crazy. It's just like constant violence. It's a good movie. I could see the beautiful editing and everything. And
go get your fucking shine box.
you're never bored. And what is it, like another one of those 3-hour Scorsese movies? But it's never boring. It's so compelling, and you're going through all these time periods. It's a huge epic.
3 generations of life in the mafia.
It's fucking violent. It's a violent movie.
I love it. The Departed is probably top 10. I say that, and then if I made a top 10, I'd be like, oh. Or not The Departed, Goodfellas. Did I say The Departed?
Yeah,
Goodfellas. Yeah.
Goodfellas is probably top 10. The Departed is not top 10, but I love it. It was one of the rare times where watching the Oscars, it was like the best picture goes to the thing that was actually the best picture of the year to me. I was like, fucking thank God. Because I was like, you know.
I didn't realize. Are you talking about Departed now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It won Best Picture? I didn't even know that. I forgot that. Damn.
Yeah. It won Best Picture. That was 2006. So it would have been up like Little Miss Sunshine.
Well, yeah. Who cares about that?
That's all I remember for some reason. I remember other movies. Like I remember like Blood Diamond and Dreamgirls. They weren't nominated. Letters from Iwo Jima.
Yeah, that was big.
That was a good one.
Wow, I'm really surprised. I guess like wow. Yeah.
I remember being like, it better fucking be The Departed. I like Sunshine, but I was like, it better be The Departed, or I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah.
And it was, like
You're
actually
still
a time.
alive.
God, actual Best Picture won Best Picture.
And it's crazy how these actors, they actually are conscious of the award season. And so, for example, Leonardo DiCaprio rejected his nomination bid for The Departed.
What do you mean?
He didn't want to enter himself for Best Actor for The Departed because he put himself in a running for Blood Diamond.
Oh my God.
And
is
I think
Blood Diamond even good, or?
Blood Diamond was great.
Oh, never mind. I haven't seen either.
Oh no. And also, I think Nicholson. I don't know if this is true. I can't find anyone to confirm it.
I'll confirm it.
So older generation actors, they see something impressive, and they actually give their bid to somebody else. Supposedly, Nicholson gave his bid to Mark Wahlberg for supporting actor.
No
Wahlberg
shit.
was the only one to be nominated from the whole movie, which was a
damn.
It was crazy. And Mark Wahlberg, you get an Oscar nomination.
Why would he do that?
I mean, it's paying it forward, I guess, because
maybe
like Russell Crowe is known.
Maybe go fuck yourself.
He did that. What's that?
Quoting him.
Maybe you should have given it to a better actor then.
Oh, you don't like Marky Mark?
Maybe not. Maybe go fuck yourself.
And the Funky Bunch.
Yeah. I mean, Mark Wahlberg was good in The Departed. Trust me, he'll impress you in that one. He
was good in Boogie Nights. I'll give him that.
Yeah. No, he was. Yeah, and he was really good in this too. It's like yeah, and he's not the Marky Mark like you see in like the nasally whining Marky Mark. The one. This is what Andy Samberg makes fun of.
No, yeah. Mark Wahlberg in The Departed is giving a performance.
Good. Yeah. He's gonna maybe. Maybe not. Yeah, I know you don't know where that quote comes from, but it's one of the greater quotes from that movie.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I try to say that daily to people.
Fucking Jake says that shit all the time.
Oh man. Andy Samberg's Mark Wahlberg. He just say, "How do you mother for me?" Yeah. You're a chicken, huh? What's up with that? That's kind of how he is in The Departed, but it's like you're not gonna.
Yeah, it's just
Same with Boogie Nights, yeah. You can still see that, but it works for the movie.
But yeah, The Departed. And going back, I guess we bounced between Goodfellas and The Departed.
Yeah.
So Goodfellas, Randy, you might know about this. Goodfellas, as great as movie as it is, they leave out a little bit. There's a great documentary in the 30 for 30 series called Playing for the Mob. And it talks about Henry Hill, the character that Ray Liotta plays. You're right.
Snitch.
Snitch. So actually, Playing for the Mob, the 30 for 30 doc, talks about a point shaving scheme that Henry Hill had going. This is the actual reason how he got caught and went into witness protection. It wasn't the drugs, as the movie portrayed.
No, I didn't know that.
It's a real good companion piece. If you want to watch Goodfellas, then watch this documentary. It's awesome. And it talks about just how arrogant Henry Hill was. He wanted to go into witness protection. He wanted his wife and his mistress to go into witness protection with him.
Wow.
He was that big-headed.
Have y'all seen My Blue Heaven?
Yeah, that's the spiritual. And the funny thing, you know that story too.
I haven't watched it.
I started it.
I have it, and I've just never watched it.
Yeah,
and of course, that's the spiritual sequel because the wife and husband team wrote either movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
I forget which one. I think the husband wrote Goodfellas and the wife wrote My Blue Heaven.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, that movie, that's good too. And my favorite scene in the grocery store. And y'all haven't seen it. Nick, you seen it?
Oh, yeah, My Blue Heaven's funny.
And remember when he's in the grocery store and he's pushing his cart. The employee like, hey, sir, have a nice day. And Steve Martin turns around, fuck you. Yeah, it's a lot of companion pieces that could go with the Goodfellas.
They came out close too.
Yeah, they were writing it at the same time. The husband and wife team.
Yeah, I always think of Goodfellas and Casino like together. Joe Pesci, I guess, I don't know, but I always prefer Casino a little bit just because it's easier for me to handle it. They're both great. They're both fantastic.
Dude, Casino is one of Scorsese's most underrated movies.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's great.
I like Casino. To me,
it's
like
same cast.
It's like
no Liotta, I guess.
Yeah, it's Goodfellas, but like a pretty good follow-up. It's kind of like, to me, like Casino is like the follow-up to Goodfellas. He was like, well, I want to do that again, and it's like not as good, but like pretty.
Yeah,
good.
it's a slight. You can tell the differences, but.
I don't know.
For me to it's like Jackie Brown. It's like the easier Quentin for me to take, you know?
I don't know if it was promoting Many Saints in Newark or if it was more recent, but somebody asked Ray Liotta, how come you never work with Scorsese again? Shit, I don't know. Ask him.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny because we were talking about J-Lo and I was like, she never worked with Soderbergh again. Meanwhile, this guy worked with Don Cheadle and George Clooney like 1,000 times.
20 other times, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? It's like, what happened there, you know?
Dude, directors just like have their favorites.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just classically be scheduling conflicts.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, especially for those huge movies, there's always something else going on.
Speaking of J-Lo, oh my God, marry me.
Did you watch it?
That's why we were talking about her, you know, like.
I know.
It's just all rom-coms
I'm sorry, getting off.
She has so much potential.
I've seen a lot of positive feedback from Marry Me, though.
What? I've only seen negative.
For real?
It's the same.
Yeah, for sure.
Rotten Tomatoes, the critics were like, hell fucking no, and the audience was like, hell yes, so who knows, you know? Typical rom-com response, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't get to it yesterday, so I don't see myself getting to it before Valentine's Day.
I know, I don't have time. I've been watching Randy's I watched like 6 hours of Kill Bill. I had no time to watch anything else.
The thing about rom-coms is...
My master plan complete.
There's a great quote that says, and I think this... So the quote is, it's not what a movie is about, it's how it's about it. Because there's bad rom-coms, right?
Yeah,
and there's really great ones. So that's why 500 Days of Summer is one of the greatest rom-coms I've ever seen, because how it went about telling your traditional rom-com story in this unique way. And I think that's what makes that movie work.
Hey,
Marry Me is not terrible. It's just.
Hey, Randy, you forgetting Sarah Marshall. Would that be on your favorites?
Possibly. Yeah, like
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
saying, there's a lot I just didn't add. Like Tropic Thunder could have been in there too.
So,
Right,
did you watch
right.
it, Melissa? Marry Me.
No, I will one day.
I'm
It's like,
curious
Nick,
what
I don't
y'all
know.
had to say about it because it's interesting.
I know what I'm gonna say. It's gonna be another one of those typical cash grab. Put the two most good-looking people in a movie, and so many movies are like that.
Yeah, which is
like,
weird why they put Owen Wilson in it.
Like
But
murder mystery. Hey, women's like that broken
Nah.
nose shit. Like murder mystery. Like those are two of my favorite actors ever, and I think that's such a dumb movie. You know what I mean? But anyways, don't get me started on rom-coms. This is Randy's day. Give me a day. I'll
Yeah.
give you like 3 hours of ranting about this stuff.
There's before I had seen 500 Days of Summer. Summer is 3 months long. How is it 500 days?
I forget. I haven't seen that in a while.
Oh man,
So you seen the movie,
that
Randy?
movie's so good. I love that movie.
I saw it in theaters when it came out. That's when I was working at Cineplex.
Oh yeah,
It was-
2009.
It was a big thing. Yeah.
We're a movie that like you can't really watch it the same way. Like you'll talk to somebody and they will have watched that movie in a completely different way than you watched it. Like my sister,
Interesting.
Yeah.
my sister was like, that movie gets on my nerves. Like, why is she so mean to him? Like, why does she just leave him out of nowhere? And I'm like, she didn't. He was like, my view on it watching it now, I'm like, he made that relationship out to be something very different than she did. It's a whole thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
And the way the movie,
it's one
that's
of
a
those
great observation.
rom-coms from a man's point of view. So
Yes.
women will have a different take.
And
Yeah.
that's what's another thing that's so great about that. And then the way that they tell it, non-chronological order.
That's why I thought of
Yeah.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall. That's another
Yes.
guy's rom-com. Yeah.
And yeah, that's great.
Trust
So,
me, I could talk about this.
Oh yeah. I love it.
It's good.
Where are we talking about? Nick picked Scorsese, so Eric, it's your turn.
I'm sorry. It's because I brought up J-Lo and directors
no,
having their favorites, and
Yeah.
Scorsese never worked with Ray Liotta. I mean, it is interesting. That's his his big epic movie. Everyone quotes Goodfellas. Everyone loves Goodfellas, and it's like that's so true. I never thought about that. Where is the next Ray Liotta movie? Funny.
That's not coming.
Maybe.
Eric, what you got?
All right. We mentioned it a few times, but we haven't talked about Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, thank you. Let's do it. Another Canadian classic.
Yeah, with Jim Carrey.
Let's go.
Man, that was
Randy
just-
loves Canadians. He doesn't realize.
Nah, you know what? It's Canadians and Brits. I think they have some type of
Sense of humor,
no, they have a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
It's just some type of vision.
perspective.
I think y'all perspective of something with humor that Americans can't initially pick up. I'm just talking shit about it.
That's funny.
Because
Well, it's the outsider's point of view. Definitely Canadians.
yeah.
I don't know about British. British people probably think they're superior, than Americans.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also I don't think like before we get into Dumb and Dumber, have you all seen Animal House?
No.
How about the scene? You at least Melissa, you probably seen the famous scene when John Belushi is going down the stairs. The guy's playing a guitar, and he takes it and smashes it against the wall.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so y'all know that scene, right?
Yeah.
So I think John Cleese or one of the Monty Python guys, he broke it between American humor and British humor. He said
That's funny.
he said the British people sympathize more with the guy with the guitar who had his guitar smashed. He said Americans sympathize more with the guitar smasher. And he said, approach humor from that way, you can see the difference between us.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But anywho, Dumb and Dumber. So, man, 94, the year of Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
The
exactly.
Mask, in order, Ace Ventura, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber. A movie per season.
Ace Ventura could have been on here too.
Crazy.
Yeah. And
What a year. What a year.
I would argue that those three movies got progressively better.
What
Yeah.
a career.
yeah, that's crazy. And so did his paycheck, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But Dumb and Dumber came out in like around Christmas, or definitely in
Yep.
December, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
And the Farley brothers. Once again, I mentioned lightning in the bottle with the movie. because here's another movie with a. I was about to say, oh, here's a movie without a sequel. It has a
Well,
sequel.
Let's keep it like it doesn't have a sequel or a prequel
Yeah.
or a
Or
cartoon
prequel. Oh my
series.
God, let's keep it, yeah. But I just bring that up to use as an example of the lightning in the bottle.
All 3 of those Jim Carrey movies had cartoons.
Holy crap! Yes, the Mask probably. Man, wow. Yeah, the Mask. But man, what did we start? Yeah, Jim Carrey was just on a roll and everything just clicked.
Lloyd
it's
Christmas.
hard to imagine. Harlan Williams was originally up for Jim Carrey's role.
Wow.
Damn.
Jim Carrey knocked him down to that cameo.
You know, Mary,
Wow.
you're more
But
likely
even
to
that
get in an
worked.
accident on the way to the airport.
Yeah. But man, yeah, they ended up dating. He and was it Lauren Holly?
Lauren Holly, yeah.
Although,
Yeah.
Didn't they get married?
They got married.
Yeah.
And I recently
he was so
saw
big at that time. Like I said, dragging the Bruce Lee story. It's like, where
Oh
did she
yeah,
go?
that's right.
What
That would have been a year
happened?
before.
She was
with
in
her.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
She
played
was the hot
Linda
thing
Lee.
at the time. Yeah. And Mary.
Yeah, she was fine.
What was it? Not recently, but within the last 10 years, I saw this movie in theaters.
You
It
know
was
Mrs. Noogie Burger.
the 25th anniversary. God, dog.
Yeah.
And
You
the
know-
biggest laugh. What do y'all think the biggest laugh was?
Gosh.
Sorry, what?
Like recently, I recently saw it in
I was
theaters.
thinking about Noogie Booger.
When I was
the 25th anniversary.
when I was 8 years old, it was probably Jeff Daniels on the toilet.
Yeah, that got a big one. There's so many big ones.
Yeah.
So funny enough, that didn't get
You
the
gave a
biggest
dead
laugh.
bird
What
to a
came
blind kid?
immediately after that got the biggest laugh?
What?
Jim Carrey laughing on a little scooter.
Yeah.
When he
Yeah.
turned to-
You know,
Nah,
it's
bro.
crazy. I rewatched it and I was like, wow, all these references, like that's the
Yeah.
Wicked Witch of the the Wizard of Oz. Like, there's
Yeah.
so many crazy references they threw in.
The most
when I was
annoying
a kid,
sound in the world.
You didn't
I don't
pick
think
it
I
up.
got that. Yeah, I don't think I got all these
And they
things. He
snuck
just
a
kept
really
throwing
nasty
in.
joke in that went over the MPAA.
Those suits.
And so the other biggest laugh was the improvisation of Jim Carrey when he comes out to 7-Eleven.
Oh
And
yeah.
those were two random dudes.
The
big
the
gulp.
mud cuts, like the
Yeah.
whole fucking
Alright.
movie's genius.
Yeah, it is. And so I'm sorry. And
It's
excuse.
like the funniest thing in the world. Like, big gulps, huh? All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and that got like a huge laugh.
It's nothing, but
I
it's
think
just.
people know the lore of it now, and they're just like so excited to see it. Probably.
That's
So, who was the they were in the hot tub together.
You mean to tell me you drove halfway
Frida
across the
Felcher or
country in the
Yes,
wrong direction?
Google Urban Dictionary that last name.
Oh,
That's all
no,
I'm gonna
I
say.
don't want to. I don't want to.
Oh yeah.
Just put Urban Dictionary. That's the joke.
If they'd have caught that
goes
shit,
over.
it would have got an R rating.
Isn't there other versions of it where that hot tub scene is not included?
What's that?
Aren't there versions of Dumb and Dumber where the hot tub scene's cut, or am I
There might be.
misremembering?
No, I think there's probably on TNT or something. But there's actually a director's cut of Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, okay.
And in the hot tub scene, Jim Carrey's like listening to somebody have sex. So like, yeah, give it.
Yeah,
to her.
I feel like there's two scenes that don't
Yeah.
show up in every version, but you know, me and my brother know them very well. Yeah.
Definitely. And
That's another movie I've seen a million times. Well, all of his basically 90s movies I've seen
Yeah.
like a million.
and I'm happy. I wonder who the other actor is. So Jeff Daniels, the studio did not want him.
Right.
To the
Crazy.
fact where they.
That's so crazy.
What you do?
I know who it was like meant for Chris Elliott.
Really?
Oh.
He was supposed to have Jeff Daniels' part, and like for some reason.
Was
He was
Jim
waiting in
Carrey
the wings.
insisting on Jeff Daniels, right?
What's that?
Jim Carrey insisted
Yeah.
on.
Like
I
big
wonder
time.
why.
Nice.
It's like I wonder where he got that idea. Maybe because
Jim
he
Carrey.
has gravitas as an actor, and he wanted it to
Probably.
be a real
Yeah,
actor.
that had to be it.
He probably
Because
wanted that
he-
balance because he knows the type of actor he is and what he was
Yeah.
done with the
I
role.
think it was something like that.
So Jeff Daniels tells the story that his first scene shot was the ski lodge scene with Lauren Holly. And that was, he said, Jim Carrey, they shot one thing together, and for the next week, Jeff Daniels said he shot all the stuff with Lauren Holly.
Oh, okay.
So they could see, and they were, I guess it was Chris Elliott just waiting in the wings. They said if that footage didn't work, they were gonna fire him
Mm.
Damn.
and reshoot everything that he did with Lauren Holly. And he said Jim Carrey came when Jim Carrey came back for them to shoot together. He said Jim Carrey whispered in his ear, "Whatever you're doing, keep doing it." They liked it.
Okay, yeah. What a weird career. Like, to be in a million dramas and people probably only want to talk to you about Dumb and Dumber. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Man, he's got
I don't
so
think
much
it's
stuff.
It's such a weird career to. It's
Yeah,
always.
and they would go
it's
on to
always
work
that way.
with Chris Elliott anyway, and
Something about Mary. Woogie.
I just think, like, if it had been Harlan Williams and Chris Elliott, it probably would have been funny.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be a classic,
No.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jim's commitment to that character is
Right.
absolutely
And also the
insanity.
wave. We talk about the other movies. The wave riding into the movie, and then just it actually being good. You know, coming off of Ventura and The Mask.
Looking at this poster, I can't imagine Chris Elliott pulling Harlan Williams' ears.
It would have probably just been something totally different, but still good. But you know, that's what we'll never know.
Assuming that nothing else in history changed, like assuming that Harlan Williams' next movie was like Rocket Man, or remember that?
Yeah. Half baked.
Assuming that like nothing else changed, like it wouldn't be a classic. It would just be like, oh yeah, Dumb and Dumber, and then
Yeah,
they
it's
made
just another throwaway comedy movie, a raunchy movie. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Dumb and Dumber.
All right, Melissa, maybe got time for maybe one more?
Ooh.
Pressure's on.
Is there any movie any of you guys really want to?
There's one that I was hoping that we talk about, but I don't want to say what it is. I just want to flow.
Randy.
Nah,
Yeah, it's your birthday.
nah.
Yeah,
I want the conversation to flow.
We did all my favorites, and I'm really happy. I mean, no, you pick, Randy. Come on.
I don't want to pick what y'all talk about.
So stubborn. I swear.
You said be selfish, dude. You said earlier.
We're saying that we're going to talk about it.
I don't like. I'm not gonna be butthurt if we don't talk about it.
All right.
I have no idea what he's thinking.
So I think I know what he's talking about.
But just tell us.
No.
All right, so I'm gonna talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. How about that?
Oh, that's got to be it, right, Randy? Is that it?
You got me.
Eric, you are smart.
Let's talk about it.
Eric's the only one that could have known because
You knew.
he's the only one that
Once
like
he
shows me like
said it,
random
I
turtle
was
shit.
like, fuck, he
Yeah.
got it. But I wouldn't have done it myself. Yeah, that was good.
So have you seen this, Melissa?
Well, yeah, but when did it come out? That's when I saw
1990.
1990.
I think I saw it a couple times back in the day. Never got through it again. Yeah.
Oh man, it speaks to like how good this movie is. Man, 1990. How big? It's hard. So I was 9 years old when I went to see this movie. It's so hard to describe how big the Turtles were back then. They even had a little resurgence on Nickelodeon with younger generation, but they were huge back then. This is the first time I saw a movie line. No, I'm sorry, second time. First time was the year before Batman. I saw a line going around the block, going into the movie theater to see a movie. But those
are the two movies that made me fall in love with movies.
Yeah, and definitely, it's just seeing that. It's but this movie also, while helping me fall in love with movies, made me fall in love with martial arts. To be consistent, it's always been in my family with my father, who was a martial arts teacher. But one scene in the movie made me want to just learn how to do martial arts. That was the nunchuck scene.
The fellow chucker, eh?
That scene. Just as a child, I just jumped out to see this. It's a great scene.
Keep practicing.
Also, even before the Matrix, which would come years later, the Hong Kong style of fight choreography snuck into this movie. So even though they had an American choreographer, Pat Johnson, best known as the referee from the Karate Kid movies with the big mustache. He was the fight choreographer here, and he also brought in a couple of his people from Hong Kong. And oh man, one of my favorite lines. I swear I tried to use this when I was in a martial arts tournament. Like, you must be studying the abridged book of ninja fighting. That's just a great line to me as a martial artist. But the choreography was great. You had a young Ernie Reyes Jr. as the fight double for Donatello.
Yeah.
My boy Ken Scott. Y'all probably don't know who he is, but he was in a movie called Showdown with Billy Blanks. Look it up if you haven't seen it. The fight scene on the roof, and then they get the better of Raphael. I just love that. I'm just being a fanboy geek with this movie, and the animatronics. Watch this movie, then go to the third movie. You'll see how good the animatronics was with Jim Henson's Creature Shop in the first two movies. They went with a different company in the third movie, and they look like damn sock puppets.
Yeah.
This movie is just weird. Like,
why would they do that?
Yo,
being cheap.
Can you place all the turtle actors like in their like live action scenes?
Oh yeah, they have cameos.
I know it's the passenger in the taxi.
Yeah.
The Domino's delivery guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I know the other two.
One of the Foot. Actually, the Foot Clan who slaps April O'Neil plays one of the turtles. Like, I deliver you a message. Shut it.
Okay.
And look at Melissa. So, Josh Paris, or Payas, however you say his name, the detective from Scream 3.
I was about to say, boy, he getting a lot of conversation on this podcast lately.
He has a distinct, something uniquely distinct. He is the only person who actually did the voice and inside of the suit.
Okay.
Yeah, he had a fight double. His fight double was Ken Scott.
Corey Feldman was Donatello. Come on.
Yeah, Corey Feldman did the voice of Donatello.
That one I knew.
But yeah, it's just so much neat stuff. Like, so basically, when Raphael jumps over the car, and you're like, "What the heck was that?" That's him playing himself.
Yeah. Looked like a big turtle in a trench coat.
Yeah.
You going to LaGuardia, right?
And Casey Jones, Elias Koteas, the super duper cool. That fight scene between him and Raphael. And New Line Cinema taking a jab at their own property when he comes out the theater for Critters. Like, where did he come up with this stuff? And it's just hilarious to me that he could, his disguise with the trench coat, and nobody notices.
Yeah. That was like a nod to the cartoon, though.
Right, that's a nod to the cartoon. That's being faithful, though. But yeah, this is one of the most successful independent movies for like a lot of years.
This cast is crazy.
I can't front though. When I was little, like 3-4 years old, watching this, Shredder with the long shadow coming down to address the whole foot, man. That shit used to creep me out.
Yeah, I could see that.
And there's some videos. I'm gonna send them to you, Randy. I know you'd be the most interested.
Yes, sir.
There's the scene they cut out with Shredder when he comes in. With that scene, he actually fights a couple of the people who want to be in the Foot Clan, and he sits down with his legs folded, and he said attack, and they fight him, and he's fighting them off.
Oh, they got waxed.
Yeah, and if you look at the scene in the movie as it is, you look in the background when Shredder's talking, and you see a bunch of bruised up guys like tended to themselves.
Okay.
And it's just they cut a lot of stuff. The European version of the DVD has a few deleted scenes.
Maybe all that hardware is for making coleslaw.
Oh man. Yeah. So obviously Randy and I are just the Ninja Turtle nerds.
Yes, sir.
No, it's okay. Most guys, a lot of guys my age, I mean, it's a very common. Don't worry, it's not nerdy to me. It's like that's why I've seen the movie a few times, because we would all get a bunch of friends would get together and have like viewing parties of these Ninja Turtle movies.
I really hope Seth Rogen takes his next movie like back to the basics.
And it's one more thing about the nunchuck scene. I want a demonstration, if I can. Has anybody ever worked the nunchucks?
I had some plastic ones. I had some wooden ones, but I wouldn't like call myself like an expert or anything.
Now they're kind of hard to do. Well, not for me. I'm good at them, but they're kind of. So when Michelangelo's doing the nunchucks, what's that?
3.5 minutes.
Oh damn! So anyway, when he's doing the nunchucks, realize we all have 5 fingers and we're holding them like this. In the Ninja Turtle suits, your fingers have to be like this. Yeah. And he's still working them the way he's working them.
Like Danny
DeVito. That's just a credit to how good those dudes were. But anyway, Ninja Turtles, great movie. Show your children, have your kids, all that.
And Secret of the Ooze. That's it for me.
I'm done with it. Great movie.
Nice.
See if your kids can handle the violence that was apparently so.
Oh no, that's a whole nother episode.
Oh yeah, they don't even use their weapons in Secret of the Ooze, right? Yeah.
Wow.
But for Secret of the Ooze to still be that good.
Yeah, I always like.
Yeah, it's all right. It's
compared to the third one. I always like. As a kid, I didn't give a shit. As a kid, I always thought like this was like as good as the first one.
Yeah.
It's
It's
Like-
not.
Guys love these sequels. Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. Yeah, this was fun. I appreciate
We
y'all
covered a lot.
catering to my shit. Yeah, we talked about way more movies than I thought. Like I said, next episode we gonna come back in 2 weeks, the 6th of March, and we gonna talk about all Batman. So it's gonna be like another catering to me episode anyway. I'm gonna come
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
I'm gonna wrap this
We all
up.
love Batman.
It's Rec League Podcast. If you watching, if you listening, let us know what y'all favorite movies of my favorite movies are, and we be back. Yo, happy birthday to my stinking ass, man. I'm 36, still spit it nicer than you, still into nerdy shit. Never caught the clap nor drip, always avoided a dirty bitch. If you had to go through half of what I have, man, you surely quit. Still watching movies, getting drooly over boobies and big old booties. But I don't objectify a lady person casually. I put as much stock into a personality as the physicality. I cook ideas in my world, always stick to how I plan it. Damn it, revise an idea, may tweak when I examine. Yes, I'm Mr. Nice Guy, and I want to talk to Samson. I spit intricate fabric rhymes from my magic mind. They get the point cause I direct like traffic signs. Don't make sense that I dig independence, staying in my zone, surrounded by my loved ones, but I be feeling alone. Ain't nobody coming for my crown, man. I'm the rhyming king. These other rappers out here faker than Meg Ryan in that diner scene. And chill until the next episode.